Hi everyone, in this video we're working on solving for the variable in equation, and this is when there's a variable on each side. If this video is a little too difficult, then you can always go back to the two-step equations, and those ones can kind of lead you into these problems. Alright, so for number one, I'm going to do this problem two different ways just to show you that it doesn't matter which variable you move first. So looking at the first method, I usually try to move the x that's smaller because then when I subtract it to the other side, I'm not going to end up with a negative x left over. So here, because 3x is smaller than 6x, I'm going to try to move it to the other side. So it's still the same plan as the two-step equations. You want to move all the x's on the same side, or the variables on one side, and the units on the other side. So for this one, if I want to move the 3x over here, I'm going to subtract 3x from each side, because if I do 3x minus 3x, that's a 0 pair. And you notice how I put the 3x under the 6x because those are like terms. I'm not combining the 3x with the 11 over here. Okay, so when I do that, then if I do 6x minus 3x, that's going to be 3x. And I just bring down the negative 5 and the negative 11. And now this looks exactly like a two-step equation. So now that I have my x's on the right side, I want to move the negative 11 to the other side. So the opposite of negative 11 is adding 11, that makes a 0 pair. So those are going to cancel out. And then I'm left with negative 5 plus 11 is 6. So 6 equals 3x. And then again, this is 3 times x. The opposite of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3. So when I divide, I'm going to end up with 2 equals x, or x equals 2. So I'm going to do the same problem again, but a different method. So this time I'm going to move the 6x to the left side, and we're going to see if we still get the same answer. So if I want to cancel out the 6x, this is positive 6x, so I need to subtract 6x on each side. So this becomes a 0 pair, and then 3x minus 6x is going to give us negative 3x. So it's still the same idea as the first method, but we're just moving stuff on different sides. So this time, because I already have my variable on the left, let's move my units to the right. So the opposite of negative 5 is positive 5. So I have my 0 pair here. Negative 11 plus 5 is negative 6. And I have negative 3x over here. And the opposite of multiplying by negative 3 is dividing by negative 3. So I'm going to divide by negative 3 on both sides. And negative 6 divided by negative 3 is positive 2. So you can see that I get the same answer because I'm still doing the same steps. I just kind of switched them around a little bit. Okay, so for the second problem, the first thing I need to do is, I always like to see, can I combine like terms at all? So here I can see that I have a 2x and a negative 3x. These are like terms because they're both x's, so I'm going to combine them. So 2x minus 3x is going to give me negative x, and I just bring everything else down. And now this just looks like number one. So I'm going to move the negative 4 to the other side because it's smaller than negative x. But if you move the negative x over here, it doesn't matter. So negative 4 plus 4 is going to be 0. And then on the other side, negative 1 plus 4 is positive 3x. And I just bring down the other items. So again, moving the variable onto one side, and then the units onto the other side. So if I want to get rid of positive 12 here, I need to add, or subtract 12, or add 12 negatives. So I have my 0 pair, and then I'm left with 3x equals negative 15, and I'm going to divide by 3 on each side, and get that, sorry, this is on the way, I would get that x is equal to negative 5.